Small wineries across Niagara and Ontario are feeling the pinch, obviously due to COVID-19, lower sales in restaurants, of course, with fewer people eating in restaurants and ordering wine. But there are other factors here to talk about all of those things affecting smaller craft wineries. We have the president of Ontario Craft Wineries, Richard Lindley, joining us on The Source. Welcome, Richard.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate you inviting me.
Richard, there's a couple of items on the agenda that you are very concerned about, one dealing with federal government and one dealing with provincial government. Let's talk about this 6.1% tax at the provincial level.
Yeah, so the 6.1 basic wine tax is a tax that wineries pay at their cellar door. It's not a tax that is applied to imports on the sale of their wine in the province. And it's a tax that predates any of the free trade agreements. And it's a tax on cellar door wines. So wineries pay HST and a number of other taxes tied to the sale of a bottle of wine. But they also pay an additional 6.1 retail store tax on top of that HST, or in addition to that HST. So this is a tax that other manufacturers don't pay. For example, cannabis retailers don't pay the 6.1. And wine regions across Canada do not pay this tax, for example, in BC, Nova Scotia, or Quebec. So the argument we've made to government is that while we're significantly challenged by the COVID situation, this was a tax that was hurting small wineries, especially those who are more focused on tourism dollars and front door sales for their livelihoods.
If I stop in a winery and I purchase a bottle of wine, do I see that 6.1% tax on my receipt?
No, actually, it's a tax that's built into the price of a bottle of wine, so customers or consumers would not be aware of it. So if you're buying a bottle of wine for $14.95 at a winery, it would already be built into the price. So it's a cost both to the customer and the winery that government takes from the local wineries without really doing anything for it. So, but we've made the case for a couple years now that given the general profitability challenges for a lot of small and medium-sized wineries, this is a good way or a surgical way to help those small wineries, especially those who are smaller in terms of case production and could help them with their general profitability challenges. And 6.1, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot. On $500,000 worth of sales, it's about $30,000. So that's $30,000 we could reinvest into the Niagara economy or Prince Edward County economy. We could hire more people with it. We could spend more money on local businesses, whether it's with advertising or promotion. So we just feel that there's a better way that money could be allocated to the overall economy.
The current government opened up wine sales, beer sales in grocery stores. Does that tax take effect when a small winery sells its wines to a grocery store?
No, those taxes are different. So there's a bunch of different retail channels, but the cellar door channel has a 6.1 retail store tax that is unique to that channel. There's another 6% tax that's tied to restaurant sales. And then the grocery store channel and the LCBO channel are one and the same in that they have the same markup. So it's 71.5% on top of the wholesale price of a winery. So overall, most customers are paying about 100% markup on the cost of a bottle of wine. So that's a lot of money that could be going into customers' pockets or wineries' pockets, given some of the tax challenges we have in this province.
On the federal level, there's the excise tax with the fight with the World Trade Organization, with Australia, adding 50 cents again onto a bottle of wine for that tax. That's something else that hurts these smaller wineries.
That's right. So the excise tax was brought in by Minister Flaherty when he was finance minister. It gave the 100% Canadian wine 100% exemption from paying the excise tax duty. And that, as you correctly pointed out, is about 51 cents per bottle, about 65 cents a liter. And there's a lot of wineries in Canada that have never, especially new wineries, that have never had to pay that tax. So this will be crippling for the industry if we don't find a quick replacement for it.
I understand there's about 180 wineries across the province, and you're concerned that quite a few of them, almost 10%, might not be able to survive COVID-19.
Yeah, we did 2 surveys through the summer. We did one at the beginning of the pandemic back in April, and then we did another one to track our members' challenges through the summer, April through to the end of July. We do know that about 10% of wineries are worried about going under in the next couple months, especially as we go into the winter season when things are slower. We also know about a quarter of wineries are concerned about having to close their doors temporarily through the winter because they just can't afford to pay staff and stay open. So we're very concerned about that. That's about a third of the industry. If you look at 180 wineries, that's close to what is that? Close to 50 wineries that may have to make that decision over the next few months. So we're very concerned as we move into the fall and winter seasons as it starts to slow down, especially on the tourism front, that those wineries will really start to feel the pinch. So we've been calling on the province to support our priorities as they relate to the 6.1 retail store tax to give to help wineries with cash flow and then also help wineries with the notional import tax relief through the LCBO.
Some very challenging times for Ontario's wineries. Richard Linley, president of Ontario Craft Wineries, thanks for joining us.
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.